You wake up and for some reason you can't remember your spouse's name. You get in your car and suddenly you don't know how to drive. You're at an important meeting and you suddenly can't remember your native language. You're giving directions to a stranger and you suddenly don't know your own address. It started subtly. At first it was just little things. You misplaced your keys more often. You couldn't remember if you paid a bill or sent a message. People joked that you were getting old and becoming senile, but then it got worse, much worse. Now every morning when you wake up, you forget something crucial. And the scariest part is that you never forget the same thing twice. It's like the universe is playing a cruel game of memory roulette with your life. Welcome to the channel. And this is what would happen if you forgot one random thing every day forever. First comes the panic. Everyone becomes an obsessive note-taker. People tattoo important information onto their bodies, like passwords, phone numbers, and addresses. They record everything they say and do, hoping to capture their memories before they fade away. Some people even carry around external hard drives to store their human memories. Then comes the chaos. How do you keep track of who you are supposed to call or where you're supposed to be when you forget everything every day? What if you forget your wedding anniversary but remember your ex's birthday? Or you remember every grocery list you've ever made, but you can't remember your first kiss? Some people might think these are small prices to pay for the greater good, but others will be less forgiving towards themselves. Next is the skill lottery. Doctors forget how to perform surgery. Pilots forget how to land planes. Musicians lose the ability to play their favorite songs. Chefs forget family recipes that have been passed down for generations. Can you imagine the horror of forgetting the most important things you've ever learned? The skills that define who you are? But still, humanity perseveres. We adapt and evolve, creating backup people for every job, a system of checks and balances to compensate for our failing memories. Every morning we take a test to make sure we're mentally fit to perform our duties. Only after passing the memory test are we allowed to go to work. The lucky ones find a niche in society that doesn't require complex decision-making or technical skills, like digging ditches or collecting data. Those without marketable skills become dependent on the government, living off the grid and relying on the state for basic necessities. But there's a price to pay for this new way of life. Memory insurance becomes mandatory. The government requires everyone to purchase insurance that covers the cost of memory replacement therapy, which is administered by trained professionals. These therapists use advanced technology to implant memories into the minds of their clients, allowing them to regain the knowledge they've lost. Of course, there are risks involved in this procedure. Sometimes the wrong memories are implanted or the memories are altered in ways that are impossible to detect. Imagine waking up one day and finding out that you've been living a lie. As time goes on, society begins to restructure itself around our collective amnesia. Cities are designed with large open spaces to accommodate the disoriented wanderers who have forgotten where they're going. Public transportation is replaced by driverless pods that take people from point A to point B without the need for a driver. But even with all these adaptations, there's still an existential terror that haunts us all. What if you forget what makes you you? What if you forget your own identity? Are you still you if you forget who you are? Or are you a different person every day? Well, partner, they say you can't miss what you don't remember, but what happens when you can't remember what you're missing? That's all for now. See you next time.